Children should not be on their cell phones during instruction. This bill doesn't prevent them from having them in their backpacks, doesn't prevent them from using them in between classes. It even allows them to have them in their pockets. But when their actual teacher's talking to them, they have to put their cell phone down. That's all this bill is asking for us to agree on. If we can't agree on this, when are we going to agree on anything in this body? You know, the representative from the first is going to talk about some of the evidence of what cell phone does to kids, cell phone use does to kids. You know, when we heard testimony, we heard that some of these kids are on their phones 5 hours a day, and how difficult that is for them, difficult for their emotions, difficult for them to kind of figure out reality as they grow from, you know, being juveniles to adults. And I'm sure you'll do a good job with that. But what I don't understand is why we're even talking about this. The Department of Public Instruction has got some role in this. This is not a difficult issue. This is not a partisan issue. This should be something the Department of Public Instruction should be coming out and telling schools, you need to have a policy. Now, 90% of our schools already have a policy because this is obvious. Kids should not be on their phones during class time. But what is our Department of Public Instruction doing? What is Jill Underly doing for her job if she can't even make this kind of a direction? What's the use of having a Department of Public Instruction if it's going to avoid issues like this, change the rules on other things that are inconvenient, and try to just exist for the sake of existing? Instead of changing things, you know, to make themselves look better and not addressing obvious issues where the science is behind it, the common sense is behind it, like this particular bill, they seem to always be running away from the problem. I'd love to see a Department of Public Instruction that runs toward the problems, that tries to figure out how do we beat some of these issues. It should be an embarrassment to all of us that MPS, which I was a student teacher of at one point, that MPS is doing as poorly as it is. We need to do better as a state, and we need leadership. And we haven't got it from Jill Underly and the Department of Public Instruction yet. I hope we can pass this bill. It's a simple one. Like I said, it's never going to get easier for us to agree on something than this particular bill. It's common sense. The science is behind it. There wasn't one person that testified against this throughout the entire hearing in the assembly when we heard folks speak, not even DPI. DPI clearly made it clear that this isn't a bad idea and that the other school districts agree. If we're ever going to do this, now's the time. Please think about this bill. Please try to get to a yes on this bill. That should always be the effort on either side. It will always be my effort on every bill that I see as well to try to get a yes on yours. I want you to think about this one. This would be an important message to our schools that cell phones need to have limits, and this is a chance for us to do it.